everybody. This is my first vlog. So one of the main things that I was interested to be learning about this week was the myths of vulnerability from Brené Brown's book. The main two that really resonated with me were I Can Go It Alone and Vulnerability is a Weakness. I think they specifically struck home for me because I believed them for the longest, or maybe a part of me still believes them. And I think it was Deb in the discussion board who said something about believing that vulnerability is a weakness, because if we admit to vulnerability, it feels like we're accepting something as women, that we need help or that we're not strong enough. And I think that she was really right in that, and that was kind of what made me realize that I've been holding on to the myth that vulnerability is weakness. So thank you to Deb for bringing up that really important point. Another thing this week that I learned, or that clicked with me, was that we are so conditioned to expect an unhealthy or toxic work environment. And I think a part of me knew that, but I wasn't really at the forefront of my mind until we were talking about it this week, that we're just so familiar with being mistreated at work. And I think my generation, I'm 23, is kind of the first to be comfortable speaking up and asking for what we need at work. And I know Brown talks about it a bit in her book as well, the millennials and Gen Z who are leaving at 5 o'clock and advocating for themselves in the workplace, and how that can be misinterpreted by older generations. And I think that we're just starting to come to an understanding with one another. And of course those are broad generalizations of our generations, but I think that this movement towards leaving work at work and trying to cultivate a more healthy workplace is really important, and I'm glad that we're talking about that this week as well. Something that I already knew is that clear is kind. Transparency, of course, is super important, and being honest is important to me, but I'm still definitely working on putting it into practice. I think that is a skill that I'm a little bit lacking in. I can have a hard time being upfront about how I'm feeling or what I'm thinking. I can be a little bit more comfortable keeping those things to myself. So I think that is where I'm lacking, is not just knowing that clear is kind, but practicing clear is kind. I'm also lacking leadership experience in the OT field. I have experience in leadership in clubs and organizations as a resident assistant at my college, but actually as an OT in leadership, not as much, except for the SOTA on my campus, Student Occupational Therapy Association. Since I'm just starting my career as an OT, I don't really have a lot of experience as an OT leader, so I feel like I'm a little bit lacking there. And I think that the capstone and program development courses are good professional development opportunities for these skills. My program for both of those, my main idea right now, is to develop a program for support and stress management for parents of people with disabilities, I'm thinking. And so by facilitating that program, I will have the opportunity to act as a leader at the facility where it'll be taking place. And so I think that just designing that program and running it will be a good opportunity for me to develop some of the skills that I've been talking about here, both clear as kind and leadership in general. So I'm really looking forward to those opportunities to develop some of those skills. And as far as what I'll be needing in that journey, the executive director at the facility where I'm hoping to host the program, I will need her to be on board with my journey. Her name is Linda. She's absolutely wonderful. She's been in my life since I was about 17. She's the person that helped me figure out that I wanted to be an OT, so I'm optimistic that she'll be on board. But she will need to approve my program and kind of give me some insight into getting it set up, and hers will be the facility where it'll be hosted, so she'll need to be on board for me to successfully develop all these skills. Thanks for watching.